I've got a question for you all. Have you ever wanted to take down hordes of zombies in virtual reality? If, like me, the answer is yes, then Zombieland Headshot Fever Reloaded on the PSVR2, it may just be the game you've been looking for. To put it up front as well, I didn't have high expectations going in, but after playing it, I can confidently say I've been having a blast. In today's review, I'm breaking it all down for you from the gameplay to its use of the cinematic universe. My name's Alex, this is PlayStation Corner, let's get started. Zombieland Headshot Fever takes place following the second movie, Double Tap. We find ourselves training for the Zombieland Invitational, a sport-like event that challenges participants to slay zombies while navigating an obstacle course. As a new character to the gang, known simply as New Guy, we'll walk through several locations to become the Invitational champion. While the premise is simple, the narrative and the humour, it stays true to the film style, and overall I did enjoy it. Zombieland then is an on-rail shooter that challenges players to survive and advance by taking down hordes of zombies throughout each location. While the core concept is simple, the game keeps things fresh by attaching challenges unique to each level. These might include beating a certain time limit, finding a hidden object, or delivering a high multiplayer combo. The gunplay is straightforward. Players have access to 2 weapons at any given time, but the pistol is your best friend. It's got unlimited ammo, and it was frequently a mainstay. I suggest saving your secondary weapon for when necessary due to those limited resources. The primary weapon of your choice then will always be in hand, while the secondary is attached to the hip, where you can grab it as needed. It's also worth noting at this point the game can be played standing or sitting. The reloading mechanic in Zombieland is simple then. Players can reload their weapons by tapping down on the left or the right stick and lowering the gun to the ammo that appears on screen. While this interactive design is a nice touch, I think I would have preferred a more traditional on-rails reload system. I did also have a few issues where the game didn't pick up on the connection between gun and clip. Where Zombieland really shines though is in its difficulty options. There are 4 tiers of locations to take on. You'll need to clear a certain number of challenges to unlock that next one. That is easier said than done, which adds to that replayability. Also, unlike most shooters that focus on high scores, this one's asking us to compete in a run in the quickest time possible, which is then reported to an online leaderboard. Here we see the times as well as the weapon combination used by other players. The level variety impressed me as well. It's constantly shifting your orientation, demanding different tactics from the player. Alongside this, there's an ever-increasing number of zombies to face with various abilities. Some examples you'll encounter: heavies that can absorb a lot of bullets, friendly zombies that hurt your time if you do hit them, others that throw objects, even sprinting enemies that leave a little room for error. The initial level count as well, it may seem limited with only 16, but quickly I realised we could actually unlock B-sides. These, they reverse the direction of the level and also the zombie behaviour with a new set of particularly brutal challenges to face on. The game then uses teleport movement, which means you remain stationary until you clear each batch of zombies. This game is not meant for free movement, nor is it an option. Rather, it's taking inspiration from classic on-rail shooters such as Time Crisis and House of the Dead. Now, a standout feature here is the use of eye tracking. That's going to move you to the next checkpoint. Just look in the direction you want to go and you are off. Definitely adds to the game's sense of urgency, though I will say I did experience a few minor issues and rare instances where it wouldn't respond as quickly as I wanted. Predominantly, this was when the next checkpoint was slightly out of sight, say at the top of a staircase. The final note on gunplay: the game is built around an adrenaline and headshot system. Landing 2 headshots consecutively slows down time, and it gives you better accuracy while also removing time from your final score. It's a system that ups the intensity because now you must not only be quick, but also you will be rewarded for being accurate. The combos building up on screen then had me constantly restarting as well, just so I could optimize my approach. Between levels then, we will be bunkering down at our hub location, that is a mansion. Here we can view our progress towards achievements, we can visit the gun range to practice our shooting, and we can unlock and upgrade new weapons in a gunsmith area. We can also add character perks here, and there's a fair few, but my personal favourites were a laser sight for beginners, a projectile blocking helmet, and then a perk that increased my ammo capacity. The weapon unlocks and upgrades require toilet paper. That is the world's new currency, and that is rewarded from completing levels and objectives. A criticism I do have here is that after completing a level, it would be great to just jump straight to the next one. Instead, the game currently forces you to return to this hub location, which feels like an unnecessary step if you have no changes to make. In terms of gameplay, Zombieland, it makes good use of the VR2's features, since controllers triggers feel unique for each gun, making it quite the workout for your hands. And the headset's run, but it adds an extra layer of immersion. It's predominantly used when a zombie takes you down. This game, it lives by a rule of one hit and it's game over, so that vibration to the headset itself is definitely impactful as the screen's fading to black. Although there are a few issues, overall I've had a blast with it and I plan on revisiting the game in the future to climb up the leaderboards. Zombieland is designed to be comfortable for most players in VR. While you'll be rotating frequently during gameplay, the screen is mostly stationary, with only a few instances where it moves forward very gradually. Thanks to the game's use of teleportation and the option to play while standing or sitting, I don't anticipate many issues with motion sickness. However, if you do choose to play while sitting, adjusting the character height in the options menu that is recommended. Here you can also switch the dominant hand. In terms of graphics, Zombieland, it's decent but not outstanding. The developers, they've enhanced the cel-shaded effect, but this is still an updated version of a previous Quest game. The characters at the hub location, they kind of resemble their movie counterparts. Some are better than others, but the in-game levels, they don't quite capture the essence of Zombieland itself. However, though, I will say though, there's still some enjoyable visual effects such as limbs falling off and heads exploding. The cartoon style adds a certain flair to the game, making it more stylized than minimalistic in its detail. Some of the locations as well, they are noteworthy, including a raid on a junkyard and a brutal lift encounter that takes place floor by floor. The weapons, they look decent as well, and overall, I believe that more could have been done visually with the license, but it's still a decent little attempt. In terms of audio, Zombieland, it's not bad. The music is relatively generic and instantly forgettable, but it does enough to reinforce the action and the narrative. The voice work then decent, it has some solid one-liners, and as I said in story, it's in keeping with the franchise. The original cast do not return outside of Abigail Breslin, who returns for her role as Little Rock, and then topping it off, the guns sound good, and the zombies are particularly impactful. Overall, Zombieland was a surprise. I had very few expectations heading in. If anything, I anticipated a quick to complete arcade shooter with some fleeting thrills. What I found, however, is surprisingly replayable, with it combining its old school ideas with a speedrun mentality, and that's a combination that works extremely well. Throw in then bonus levels in B-sides, multiple weapons to experiment with, online leaderboards, and achievements, and this could definitely keep you busy for quite some time. It also ramps up the difficulty, and the invitational is particularly challenging. It has issues, a few reaction issues to reloading, levels that don't take full advantage of the license, a visual style that's overall what I would describe as just okay. But that said, you want arcade-like action with low impact comfort, and this may just be your game. I ended up having a lot of fun with it, and I do intend to return now to see if I can top my quickest runs. It's a good 7 out of 10 from me today, and if not now, you may want to add it to the wish list. Will you be checking out Zombieland then? Let us know in the comments with that. Hit subscribe, join us here for reviews and deals centered around the PS5 and PSVR2 weekly, and we'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.